2020 is finally coming to an end. We literally thought this was never gonna happen, but look, it's December, Christmas is just around the corner, and I'm sure we're all kind of thinking about what is New Year's actually gonna look like this year. And so today I want to talk about how to take stock of your finances over the last year, and therefore how to set yourself up to a successful 2021. So join me today as we go through this. My name is Val Njoroge, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Africa's Pocket. So what does taking stock even really mean? For me, it's just a time of reflection. So it's really just about assessing what happened, why did it happen, and then making decisions based on those things, because some things are completely out of your control. And so, your decision won't change, your strategy won't change, but there are times when you can improve, you can learn lessons, or you can even pat yourself on the back. So we're gonna go through 3 steps of taking stock. The first is assessing where you are. Then the second thing we'll do is review our goals based on where you are. And the third thing you'll do is set up new goals and a new budget and a new financial plan. So let me start with the first one, assessing where you are. How do you do this? For me, there are 3 metrics that really make a huge difference. The first one is your goals. What were your goals? Where did you get to with each of them? And what happened along the way? So if you went ahead, what is it that you did right to kind of surpass your goal? If you were behind, what were the circumstances and how can you correct them? The second thing is your income. So how much money did you make? And this is not necessarily just your salary. It could be that you got a bonus, or you have a side hustle, or you got gifted. How did your income change over the year? And then the third thing is your net worth. How much are your assets worth? Did they grow or did they decrease in value? And why did that happen? So let's take a look at your goals. So as we have talked about time and time again, financial plans really start with goal setting. What do you want? Where are you trying to get, and how are you going to get there? So if you want to retire early, for example, and you need to put aside 20,000 shillings or $200 every month, then that's a goal that's very clear to you, that you want to be able to retire early, and maybe early for you is at 45. And so you know the amount of time you have to go, and then you can work backwards and create specific actions. So start with, what were your goals? What were they? Did you have a goal to travel? Did you have a goal to move houses? Did you want to put some money towards your kids' education? Look at what your goals were in the past and see where you've reached so far. That's the first step. And then take a look at the ones that went really well. So maybe you were trying to create an emergency fund of just 6 months and you ended up going all the way to 9 months. What happened for you to be able to do that? Take note of that, because that's something you want to keep repeating. And then the ones that you didn't reach, what happened? Was it something to do with the economy this year? Coronavirus was a big factor for all of us. It could have gone well or badly for you. So what happened for you not to reach your goals? Write down the situation that happened, and then we'll go and assess it. If it's something that's completely out of your control, what you want to ask yourself is this goal still important to you? And so can I put it into next year's plan? If it's not as important, then you can kind of put it on the back burner and you don't have to think about it too much. So that's with goals. With income, did you get a permanent change in income this year? If you did, then you want to make a plan for that additional income that you've gotten. One of the things that happens when our income increases is that we start to experience lifestyle creep. So suddenly you're going to nicer restaurants, or you're buying a better brand of skincare, or you're taking Ubers more often. You want to make sure that if you got a bump in income, you're not spending all of it towards things that are not necessarily improving your life, and that you're really in control of where those funds are going. The other flip side of income is, did it decrease? And if it decreased, what does that mean for you? Are there some permanent changes in your budget that you need to make? Do you need to make decisions like move out of the house you're living in, or downgrade your form of transportation? If your income decreased, you really want to work on reducing your fixed costs, because those are the ones that are permanently there and you have to think about consistently on a month-on-month basis. So that's your income. And finally, your net worth. This is my favorite number because typically your investments will go up. But in a year like 2020, you might have a situation where maybe you have shares and the price of the shares has gone down, and so the value of your shares has decreased. What you want to do is call all of your investment partners. So this is whether you have a money market fund, you could have shares, you could have a bond. You can either download your statements or give them a call directly and find out the shares that I bought earlier in the year, how much are they worth right now? And you want to put these numbers down and add them up. Those are your assets. And then ask yourself, do I have any debt? Have I increased my debt or reduced my debt? So if you have been paying off debt throughout the year, then maybe you've reduced it. And so you want to make sure that you take what you own, those are your assets, minus what you owe, those are your liabilities or your debts. And the number you get is your net worth. This is a number you want to track consistently because you may be making more money, you may be hitting your goals, but your net worth might be staying the same or decreasing, and you want to keep growing it. So that's assessing where you are. So you understand where you are with your goals, you understand how your money situation has changed, your cash, and then you understand how your assets have changed. You now want to go into asking yourself, what steps do I need to take to make a new plan for 2021 that's still aligned with my values and aligned with my goals? So the first thing I'd already alluded to, take a look at those goals that you had, especially the ones that you didn't hit, and find out if they're still important to you. If they are, then make a plan for them. Just like the first example I gave you with retirement, make it smart. So if you want to buy a house in 5 years, understand what the down payment you need is going to be, calculate backwards and understand how much you need to put away every single month. And then put that into your budget. So say, every month I'm going to put away 20,000 shillings towards my house deposit that I'm going to buy in 2025, for example. So you take a little bit of time looking at your goals, and if they're still important to you, you can put them into your budget. And then ask yourself, do you have any new goals? So you could be having a baby on the way, you could want to pursue a master's degree. Maybe you saw that in 2021 you really need to increase your sources of income, so you want to improve your skills somehow, and that's a cost for you. So think about what your new goals are and put them into your financial plan as well. And then from these goals, you can extrapolate a budget that first pays you, like we've always said. So first save, and then you can go into your expenses. So that will give you a new budget for 2021, which can be a refreshed one. It could be very similar to your 2021, or it could be completely different. The point is to make sure that it is aligning back to your goals. The second thing I like to do in this part is give myself targets for income. So maybe your income increased somewhat, but you want to make sure that momentum continues. So you want to give yourself a target and say, maybe this year I want to increase my income by 20%. And then now you make a plan of how you're going to do that. It could be that you're going to work towards a raise at work, or you're going to create an additional source of income, and that could be from investing or from doing an active side hustle. This is the time to make those kinds of decisions. And then finally, with your net worth, you also want to make a plan for that. What are you going to invest in this next year? Are you going to try and buy more shares? Do you think this is a good time to buy shares? This is a time to do research and to talk to your financial partners to find out what makes sense for your particular investment strategy based on where you are. So you're now at a point where you've assessed where you are, you have reviewed your goals and your budget, and now you want to start setting yourself up for success next year. And for me, the thing that I do during this review session is get organized and stay organized. And I literally will send myself a calendar invite every other week. I do bi-weekly reviews of my bank statements and then a monthly review of my overall financial plan. So on a weekly basis, what I do is I take a look at my bank statements. So I'm really thinking about my cash. What have I spent? What has come in? And then on a monthly basis, I make sure that I understand the big picture of my money. So how are my investments looking like? Are there any opportunities I want to pursue next month? Are there upcoming expenses that may be one-off, like maybe you're paying for a big purchase like a car or a trip? That's what I do usually during that monthly review. So I send myself those calendar invites in advance. I make sure that I prefer to use a spreadsheet, so I make sure that my spreadsheet is ready to be used, it's working, I'm ready for it, I'm able to download my bank statements in advance, and I use this time every 2 weeks and every month to review my finances and stay organized throughout the year. As we go into a recession year, this is going to be especially helpful because you really want to track your money, because every single penny counts. If there's something that 2020 has shown us, is that emergencies can be completely out of your control. And what you want to be able to do is control as much of that process as you can, and tracking your spending is one of the ways that you can do that. We have a budgeting tool at Africa's Pocket that can help you do this. I'll link it in the description below so that you can be able to use it to track your own spending. With that, I'll stop there, and I hope that you will spend some time before the end of 2020 reviewing your year, so assessing where you are, and then aligning goals to your new situation, and then getting and staying organized. Sending you good vibes from my pocket to yours.